Hello there, people of the internet. This is not an old video. It just so happens I'm out here on the old gun range. Family still owns it. I still come up here from time to time, but I was not expecting to do any filming while I was out here, so my firearms options are very limited. That being said, I still want to make some videos because I got some time to kill, so here we are. One of the comments I got on YouTube, no idea who it was, but they said something that I agree with so much that I decided to go ahead and make myself a video on. They said if you had a full powered rifle, specifically they were talking about a 308 and a 12 gauge shotgun, that there was basically nothing that you could not achieve. Now, in my particular case, I have this Mosin Nagant to serve as our full powered rifle because I don't have a 308 at this particular location. And I would recommend using like a semi-automatic self-loading full-powered rifle to serve your purposes as opposed to something like a bolt-action rifle. Now, even with the combination of this bolt-action rifle and this pump-action shotgun, there's very little that you could not achieve. Like, you'd have to be in a really bad situation to not be able to handle whatever it is you have to handle with these, but there are better options out there. So for the full powered rifle, I would recommend a self-loading rifle in like 308, which is a really common cartridge, or 7.62 NATO, depending on what style it is you feel like going for, and if you want to buy commercially available stuff or military surplus ammunition. And I would recommend, like, I don't know, the AR-10 is probably going to be your best platform, but insert your choice of semi-auto full powered rifle here. There are some legitimate arguments, like some good points, for the people that want to argue intermediate cartridges as opposed to full-powered rifles, or even including a 22 long rifle inside of the arsenal. However, I do want to say that basically anything the 22 long rifle can do, the 12 gauge shotgun can also do. There's some incredibly light loads out there. There's birdshot out there that could handle basically whatever the 22 could do without destroying meat. There's reduced recoil loads if you want nice light recoiling rounds. Like the 12 gauge shotgun is just one of those shotguns. It's one of those firearms that you name it and the shotgun can do it out to a certain distance. It's got so much power behind it, but there's also setups with certain shells, certain cartridges that have extremely low recoil and they don't damage things all that much, and you can go ahead and well, gather whatever it is that you want to gather. I'm sure somebody's going to mention shooting squirrels with a 22 long rifle. You can absolutely shoot a squirrel with some bird shot from a 12 gauge and it'll go down and it won't destroy the meat. Ask me how I know. I have done it plenty of times. If you want a 22 long rifle in your arsenal for whatever purposes, then by all means go ahead and go for it. This isn't me telling you, hey, the 22 long rifle is stupid, do a shotgun instead. This is me saying if you have a shotgun and no 22 long rifle, then there's a lot that you can do with your shotgun, and you add a full powered rifle to that, and there's very, very little that you could not achieve. Now, with the intermediate cartridges, you could carry more ammunition, although you're less effective out at long ranges. Depending on your ammunition choice, some ammos are better than others. They definitely have their pros. You can carry more ammo, and they definitely hit hard enough for doing most of the things that most people would need to do. But the full power cartridge with that bit of extra power behind it, that bit of extra range behind it, that bit of extra capability behind the cartridge, it just brings more to the table. And especially in a system like an AR-10, especially if you got a muzzle brake on it. People yell at me for saying especially. I know it's especially. There's no X in especially, but whatever. As long as you guys know what I'm saying, that's all that matters. That's all I'm concerned about. But especially if you're running like an AR-10 with a muzzle brake and a butt pad on it, something that like helps get rid of some of that 308 full powered recoil, you can run an AR-10 damn near as effectively as you could run an AR-15. Granted, carrying less ammo as per weight, I understand that, but a 308 is going to be a 1-round stop. That's going to put whatever it is you're shooting it at like down immediately, especially if it's like a 2-legged varmint who is opposing itself to be a threat. Hopefully you guys know what I'm talking about here. I'm trying to pick my words very carefully so YouTube doesn't get very upset with me. But the 308 is like a one-stop shot versus something like a 223, which we have seen on numerous occasions take multiple rounds to put down a target. Now, if you have yourself something like, I don't know, a 77 grain bullet from a 20-inch barrel, then maybe your target will go down with that one single shot, depending on shot placement. But I've made videos on how shot placement is quite difficult whenever you're in a fight for your life. So you just kind of aim center mass and hope for the best. But depending on where it is that you hit that thing, the 223 might be enough to go down with one shot, depending on your ammunition type and your, like I said, shot placement. But there's no guarantee about that, and we have seen that numerous times before. This is not me just spouting, hey, I like the bigger, more powerful cartridges. This is actual evidence that we have seen in existence, like video footage of people using the 223/5.56 and it taking more than one shot to put something down. So if you're going to expunge more ammunition, then why not just carry more powerful ammunition, like, and less of it? Like, it just makes more sense to carry less ammo that is more powerful, that's actually going to put your target down, versus the lighter weight ammo that you can carry more of that you're going to have to put like multiple rounds on target to take it out. Especially if we see those targets like hyped up on drugs or alcohol or something like that. As a matter of fact, I was watching, I can't remember what it was, some kind of police footage, and this guy had lit up some dude who was on drugs. Like a police officer had lit up some dude that was on drugs with his 5.56 rifle, and the guy that was on drugs, like, he was so doped out on drugs that his circulatory system was like really constricted, and he wasn't bleeding out, and he got hit round after round with 5.56 and he just wasn't going down. But I'm betting a couple of rounds center mass with 308 would stop that threat basically immediately. Long story short, I understand the benefits of the intermediate cartridge, but there's very few situations where the intermediate cartridge could do a job that the full powered rifle could not. And that's the discussion of this video. We're not saying this is better than that. I'm saying that if you had the shotgun and the full powered rifle and that was it, that was all you wanted, then you could achieve basically anything. So speaking of shotgun and full powered rifle, let me make sure there's nothing alive on my earmuffs here. Let's go ahead and send a round downrange. In the case of the shotgun, I have some number 7 birdshot here. This is one of those loads that you could hit a squirrel with and it won't completely destroy it. I wouldn't exactly take birdshot like deer hunting or anything like that, but if you were just going to go after a squirrel, then this right here would be a good option, especially because this is steel shot, not lead or anything like that. Let's send it. Okay, cool. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. That was actually a lot lighter recoiling than the stuff I was shooting earlier. And in the case of our rifle, this right here is a Mosin Nagant. I got a couple of rounds of 7.62 by 54R. This is 147 grain. It should travel at about 2,800 or so feet per second out of this rifle, but this rifle does keyhole, so we're not gonna hit any targets or anything like that. I'm just gonna kind of aim for the car. Actually, I got a steel silhouette out there. Let's aim at it. We might get lucky and hit it. Who knows? But if you got yourself full power rifle and a shotgun, like I said, there's very few situations, especially if you have a self-loading full power rifle, very few situations that could not be handled. Get yourself an FAL or a G3, or go old school, get yourself an M1A or M1 Grand if you want to go the 30-06 route. Whatever it is, there's a lot that you can do with those things. Now, I would recommend something a little newer that you can put an optic on, but that's just me. Did I hit it? Ah, by Jove, I actually hit the steel. How do you like that? It was definitely a keyhole shot though, because that's nowhere, that's like nowhere close where I was just aiming. Let's send another round. I hit it again. Like, I've taken this Mosin Nagant out and I've test fired it, and at like 25 yards we have about 20 inches of spread, and we're seeing that very indicatively right here with where I'm currently shooting the steel, because these are not hitting that steel where I'm aiming. But I'm going to send another one. Okay, cool. I'm actually quite pleased with that. We hit the steel on all 3 shots, which is not something that happens very often, and I probably could not replicate that. Okay, well, there we go, guys. There's my filming session. Thanks for watching. Appreciate your time. Like, subscribe, share. The description below has a link to all sorts of stuff. Go check it out. You guys go off, have yourself a fantastic day. I'll see you on the next episode. Been a little while since I've done this. Bonnie and Clyde be damned. Poor man's Garen. It's a shame that bolt action shotguns aren't more mainstream.